Hi guys, you're welcome back to my channel. On today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how I recreated this beautiful gown displaying on the screen. This tutorial is well loaded because I'll be showing you the step by step on how I cut and sew this beautiful kissing pleat gown with a front zipper and a collar. I'll also be showing you how you can sew a kissing pleat gown with a full lining and how you can attach your pocket. If this is what you are interested in learning, please make sure you don't skip any part and also watch till the end so that you won't miss out. If this is your first time seeing my video, you're welcome. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn on your notification bell for more videos. Okay, this is the beautiful African print that I'll be using for the sake of this tutorial. I made it of 5 yards and I have this tough satin that I'll be using for the collar. So I'll be cutting out a small piece that I'll be using for my collar. Okay, I'll be drafting on a pattern paper for the purpose of clarity. Please note that you can also cut this directly on your fabric. This gown have a joining on the waistline, so I'll be showing you how to draft the upper part first. This is my 2 inches zipper allowance. I have half of my shoulder width here, which is 8 inches. From my shoulder to my chest line is 9 inches. From my shoulder to my bust point is 11 inches. From my shoulder to my under bust is 14 inches. And my half length is 17.5 inches. I'll be attaching my body measurement on the screen so that you understand what I'm doing. I use 4 inches for my neck width. You can also use 3.5 if you don't want your neckline to be wide like mine. And for the neck depth, I use 8 inches. I think the original creator of this dress used 9 inches to make hers. This is just my first attempt of making this gown. So I will mark my V neckline. I'll connect it the way you see me doing. Just fix your eyes on the screen. You get it right. Okay? After marking my neck depth, I will measure down 1 inch for my front shoulder slant. I'll connect it to the neck width the way you see me doing. After that, I will divide my round bust by 4. I will place the measurement on the chest line. I have 10.5 inches for my round bust. I will also divide my round under bust by 4. I will place the measurement, my round waist by 4. After that, I will connect it with my ruler the way you see me doing. The upper part of this dress is a princess that bustier, so I will be showing you how you can tighten your under bust when you want to put a front zipper. The next thing is to insert my nipple to nipple measurement, so I will mark it on the bust point. My nipple to nipple point measurement is 9 inches, so I divided it by 2. I have 4.5, so I mark it and I connected it with a straight ruler down to the half length. So to tighten my under bust, I will be marking 1 inch on the center front. If you are from bust 35 to 38, you can use 0.75. If you are from bust 31 to 34, please use 0.5. So on this side, I will mark 1.75. Bust 35 to 38 can use 1.5. From bust 31 to 34 can use 1.25. So I will come down by 1 inch from my bust point line and I will curve it the way you see me doing. You place your pattern master the way I place mine and curve it. If you don't have pattern master, you can use a French curve. After curving it, I will extend my dartless straight to the half length, but because I have a big tummy, I will come in by 1 inch and slant it. If you have a flat tummy, you rule it straight down. Don't slant it the way I slanted mine. So on this side front, I will just rule it straight the way you see me doing. After that, I will divide my chest line by 2 the way you see me doing. So if I get the midpoint, I will come in by 0.75 for my front armhole and I will slant it this way. After that, I will curve my armhole. I'm making armhole present that bustier. So I will measure what I have on my armhole. I will mark the midpoint. I will connect it. I will come up by 1 inch from my bust point and I will connect it this way. I'll form my armhole present that bustier. So I will take half inch on the both side to tighten the armhole. I will connect it. Just fix your eyes on the screen. You understand what I'm doing. After curving it, I will blend it very well so that it won't have a sharp point at my bust area. After that, I will be replacing the half inch that intake on the armhole. The half inch on both sides is 1 inch, so I'm I mark 1 inch, so I will reconnect it the way you see me doing. If you don't replace it, you will run shortage of fabric on your armhole when you are joining your present boots there. So I want to add my size seam sewing allowance on this pattern, so I will be marking 2.5 inches on the chest line, on the underbust and the half length. After that, I will connect it. You can as well decide to add it on your fabric when you are transferring your pattern to the fabric. We only add half inch on this side for joining allowance when I'm transferring to my fabric. Take note of that. To cut it, you have to fold your zipper allowance in. Very important. Fold it in before cutting your neckline. After cutting it, this is what you will have. I'll unfold my zipper allowance for you to see. You leave it this way. So the next thing now is to drop the back part. I've gone ahead to mark out my shoulder line, my chest line, my bust point, and the half length is 17.5. so the width of the back neckline is 4 inches and the neck depth for the back is 2 inches. So I will curve it. After curving it, I will mark half inch for back shoulder slant. For the front, I took 1 inch. For the back, you take half. I will slant it to the neck width. After that, I will place quarter of my round bust measurement, the same thing I did on the front part. I will add 2.5 inches for sewing allowance. I will divide my armhole by 2, come in by half inch. On the front, I came in by 0.75. Also divide quarter of my round waist measurement by 4, mark it, and I will mark 1 inch for my dart intake. I will mark 2.5 inches for sewing allowance. I will connect it this way. I'll be adding that on the back part. That's why I replaced the 1 inch for that intake. So I will mark half of my nipple to nipple point measurement, which is 4.5 inches, and I will come down by 1 inch from the bust point line. I will roll it straight down. I will take half inch on the bust that length. That's the 1 inch I replaced for my dart intake. So I slanted it the way you see me doing. After that, I will cut it off. After cutting it out, the next thing now is to transfer all my pattern to my fabric. But before I transfer my pattern to the fabric, I would like to cut my lower part, that's the kissing pleat part, so that I will not end up wasting my fabric. The pieces I cut out from my kissing pleat, I can use it to cut the upper part. I've gone ahead to cut out the piece that I'll be using for the kissing pleat. I have the front and back here, so I'll be writing the measurement I used to cut it out. After, I will still remeasure it for you to confirm. My round waist measurement is 40 inches. I'll divide it by 2, so I have 20 for the front and 20 for the back. So to achieve the full kissing pleat gathers, I'll be multiplying the front part by 3. That's 20 times 3. I have 60 inches. So because of the front zipper, I'll be adding extra 4 inches to the front. Please note that the 60 inches will compensate for the side seam sewing allowance. So for the back, I will multiply it by 3. That's 60 inches. I won't add anything. 60 inches will compensate for my side seam sewing allowance. So for the length of my gown, I have 42 inches for the full length, but I will be deducting 17.5 inches, which is from my shoulder to my half length. That's the upper part. I'll be left with 25.5. 25.5 is the length I have here, plus 1.5 inches for sewing allowance. So I will confirm the length now. I have 24.5. I added extra 1.5 inches for folding allowance. Can you see? So I will confirm the width now. I have 64 inches. That's my 60 inches plus extra 4 inches for front zipper allowance. So because of the zipper allowance, I will divide the 64 inches by 2. So I will fold it into 2 equal parts the way you see me doing. After folding it into 2, I will slash it open. That's for my front part. For the back, I won't be slashing it open. So this is my back part. I will set it aside now and use the leftover pieces to cut out my upper part. I have my front and back pattern here for the upper part. I want to show you how I added the joining allowance. I'll fold my fabric into two. I'll place the side front the way you see me doing. Use your pin to hold it down. After holding it down, I will add my half inches on this side for the joining allowance. So you take your time and mark your half inch the way you see me doing. On the underbust, I rule a line to guide me on how to add the sewing allowance very well. Can you see? So I will mark my half inch. I also added half inch on the armhole area. I have added, as you can see, I added my side seam sewing allowance when I was drafting the pattern. I will cut the remaining one now, come back and show you. After cutting the front part, I've also gone ahead to cut out the back parts. I added my sewing allowance on the shoulder, on the neckline and the armhole area. The back part is on fold, so I will notch the dart line. I will notch it on the fabric so that when I want to sew the back part, it will be easy for me to locate. I'll also measure my dart length. I have 6.5. I will write it down so that I will know where to stop when I'm sewing my dart. I also cut my line in the same way I cut the main fabric. The same way I notch my dart leg on the fabric, I also notch it on the lining to indicate. After that, the next thing I'll be showing you is how I cut the collar. So I'll be using the center front pattern to show you how I cut out the collar. So for the collar, I will first of all come down by 2 inches from the shoulder, the way you see me doing. On this side, that's armhole side, I came down by 3 inches. So I will come out by half inch. I will make a straight line to connect it to the 2.5 inches. After that, I will slant it to the 3 inches, the way you see me doing. So I will confirm it for you to see. Can you see what I have? After that, I will measure the width of the cape. I use 4 inches. You can use 5 inches or more than 5. So you slant it to the neck width the way you see me doing. Can you see the shape of the cape? You can rewatch it if you don't understand. So I'll go ahead now and cut it out. After cutting it out, I will place it on my main fabric for you to see what I have. Can you see? This is what you have when you are done. So the next thing now is to label it. I wrote collar on it. So I'll cut out a piece of fabric that I'll be using to cut it out. Cut out a piece of doll face and a piece of my main fabric. I place it right side of the doll face, facing right side of the main fabric. I use my pin to hold it down. On this angle, I want to be adding extra half inch. I found out that it's too deep, so after adding the half inch, I slanted it and I connected it to the next side. I will confirm what I have now. I have 1.5, and for this other side, this is 2 inches. If you like, you can still add sewing allowance. I left my own this way, so I will add sewing allowance around the collar. As you can see, I did not add any sewing allowance on this shoulder part, both on the neckline too. I just blend it to the neckline. You can add sewing allowance on your own. On the down part, you make it like square, don't make it pointy, so that when you are sewing it, you won't rush it to your fabric. After cutting it, this is what I have. Can you see it has blended with the neck side? No sewing allowance on this side. Can you see what I have? Just look at it very well. After that, I'll fold another one to cut the other collar. So I've gone ahead to iron my hair stay on the main fabric. Can you see? I folded my zipper allowance. I iron tissue gum stay, that is soft gum stay, on my lining. I'll be using this medium weight foam for my padding. So you just watch what I'm doing. I won't be doing much talking here because I have a detailed tutorial on how to cut and pad a present that bustier. Just fix your eyes on the screen, you will understand what I'm doing. I'm done cutting it. I reduce the neck side with 1/2 inch so that when I'm sewing it won't obstruct the neckline. The length of the center front padding and the side front padding is the same thing. So the next thing now is to iron the foam on the main fabric so that it can stick together. I use my hemming gum to place on the fabric and I place my foam on top of it. I use my hot iron to iron it properly. Have stick together. Can you see what I have? So I'll go ahead now and join my bustier. A well detailed tutorial on how to join a present that bustier. You can check my description box for that. So I've gone ahead to sew it. Can you see? I sewn with 1/2 inch. So I'll push it out now for you to see. I will turn it to the wrong side now so that I can notch the underbust. You notch it so that it can relax very well for the lining and then for the main fabric. So I will use my breastboard now to iron the seam. You just open press and iron. This is my back part. I've also gone ahead to sew my back dart both on my lining. So this is what I have when I was done ironing it very well. I also ironed down my zipper allowance so that it will be easy for me when I want to fit my zipper. So I will set it aside now so that I can work on the lower part. I have my front part with me here. If you can remember, we divided the front part by 2. So I will start with 1. So when I want to do my bust plait, I normally place my fabric on the right side. So I will first of all mark out my 2 inches zipper allowance. After marking it, you really straight down. I will also notch it to indicate. So from that zipper allowance, I will mark 4 inches. You can mark 4.5 or 5 inches depending on how bold you want your bust plait to be. So I will fold the 4 inches to meet the 2 inches zipper allowance. Can you see? After folding it, I'll use pin to hold it down. So from the one that I folded here, I will measure another 4 inches. I will also fold it to meet this one. Make sure it's kissing each other. Let me use that one so that you understand. I will pin it down. For the down part, you fold it very well. Can you see? This point that is meeting each other, I will measure another 4 inches. I will fold it this way, the way you see me doing. I'll make sure it matching from the wrong side. Make sure it matching. You hold it with pin. Arrange it very well. You can use your iron to iron it flat. So I will measure another 4 inches and I will fold it. Before I pin it down, I will confirm my waist measurement whether it's up to quarter of my round waist. Quarter of my round waist is 10 inches, so I don't have up to 2 inches for my side seam sewing allowance. So I will use 3 inches to fold the last one. So I use 3 inches. After pinning it down, I will now confirm what I have. So from the zipper allowance, I measure 10 inches. Okay, I have 2 inches here for my side seam sewing allowance. So after arranging it very well, I will iron it down. After that, you can go to your sewing machine and sew it down. I will repeat the same thing with the other side of the front so that you understand. So after arranging it, I will measure my zipper allowance, that's 2 inches. I will measure 4 inches. I'll start pleating. Pleat the 4 inches to meet the 2 inches for your zipper allowance. I'll fold it again for you to understand. Can you see that it's meeting? I'll pin it down. Just fix your eyes on the screen. You understand what I'm doing. So I'll go to my sewing machine now and sew down the waistline. Just stitch it down. This is my back part. I'm done pleating the back part. You do the same thing that you do on the front part. Just follow the same process. That's what I have. I have 4 inches in between. That's how bold I want my bust pleating to be. So you can go ahead now and iron it very well. Arrange it and iron it down properly. If you have watched up to this point and you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel and turn on your notification bell for more videos. Also like and share this video. Alright, ironing is very important on kissing pleat so that it can relax and lay flat. So this is what I have when I was done ironing it. The next thing now is to show you how I cut the lining. So I have my lining here. I'll be cutting the front part first. So you fold it into two. This is for my front part. I want to measure what I have here. I want to get about 25 inches. So I'll put my measurement on the screen. If you are bigger than me, you use more than 25 inches. If you are smaller than me, you can use 21 inches. So I will arrange my kissing pleat very well. After that, I will cut it out. After cutting it out, I'll also notch my zipper allowance on the lining. So I will go ahead now and fold another one for my back part. I'll fold it and I make sure that it's up to 25 inches. I will fold my back part into two and I will place it the way you see me doing. Also arrange your kissing pleat. I will confirm what I have is up to 25 inches. I'll go ahead and cut it out. After cutting it out, I will join the lower and upper part together. This is my front part. I will join one side of the front and one side of the lower part together. I'll also do the same thing for the back part. After that, I'll repeat the same thing on the lining. That I'm joining the main fabric separately and the lining separately. Can you see what I have for the front part? I've joined it separately. My lining is separately for the front and back. I've also gone ahead to fold the hem of my main fabric. I folded the hem of the dress separately and the hem of the lining separately. After that, you arrange your kissing pleat and iron it down. So the next thing now is to use my lining to turn the main fabric. You place the lining right side facing the right side, pin it down. As you can see, I pin it down on the neckline. I will sew the two sides with 0.25. Just the two side. You don't sew the hem. So I've sewn it already, both for the front and back. Can you see what I have? This is my back part. I sewed my neckline and I notch it round. You can use your hemming gum to sew the neckline. So I did not sew the V neckline. I left it open for the front part. You don't sew the neckline for the front part. So I'll go ahead now and turn it to the right side. Just push it out from the down part. Can you see? You arrange it very well. Can you see it's relaxing well? You can go ahead now and iron it for the front and back. This is what I have when I was done. Can you see? It's coming out already. So what I will do now is to join the two front part together. You pin it down. Make sure the waistline is matching. You hold it with a pin. After that, I will come down by 20 inches. From the waistline, you can measure down 10 inches to sew. So I'll go to my sewing machine and sew it. After sewing it down, I will iron it very well. Open press and iron before you can attach your zipper. So I have my zipper here. I will go ahead now and fix my zipper. This is what I have when I was done fixing the zipper. Can you see? Can you see how I fix my zipper? I make sure I leave half inch that I'll be using to sew my collar. The next thing I will do now is to stitch the neckline down, or you can use your hemming gum to iron it down. After that, you cut off the excess allowance, or you can fold it this way, fold it with half inch, use your hemming gum to iron it down, or you can use hand needle to tack it so that it can look very neat. So I have my collar here, I have my doll face satin and my main fabric. So I'll go ahead now and iron my hair stay on the doll face satin. You can iron hard gum stay on the main fabric if you want. For me, I did not iron, so I place it right side to right side and I sew it this way. After sewing it, I will notch this cuff part. After notching it, I will trim off the excess sewing allowance and I will turn it to the right side. I will arrange it properly. After arranging it, I will iron it very well. Iron it down so that it can lay flat. After ironing it, I will stitch down this part that I left open, the part that I'll be using to attach it on the neckline. To attach it on my neckline, I will turn it to the wrong side for you to understand. So you place it this way, place your collar this way. The doll face will be facing the lining. So I will use my pin to hold it. After holding it, I will go and sew it with half inch. I'll sew this one also. After sewing it, you trim off the excess sewing allowance. After trimming it off, you turn it to the right side. Just flip it this way to the right side. Can you see what I have? So I'll use my pin to hold it down. Hold it down very well. On this point, you make sure it's relaxing. Can you see my own is relaxing very well? I iron it down. After that, you can use your hand needle to tack it down on this point. Tack it down on the v-neck point. So I will join my shoulder. After joining my shoulder, I will shape the side with the sewing allowance I added. I'll turn it to the right side now for you to see what I have. Can you see? So you make sure you tack it down on the v-neck point. All right. So after that, I will now attach my pocket. This is my pocket. I'm gonna have to cut it out. So from my shoulder, I came down by 19 inches. I'll mark it. I'll do the same thing on this side. After marking it, I will measure what I have here. I have 6.5 after sewing my pocket. So I will come down from the 19 inches. I came down by 6.5. I'll use my seam ripper to open it up. You can watch my tutorial on how to attach a pocket. I make a detailed tutorial on that. Please bear with me. I lost some video clips on how to attach the pocket. So this is how I tack down the collar. I make sure that the thread did not show on the doll face satin. Just tack it under. Please do well to check other of my videos. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Bye.